I hope you're doing it, and remember to do it for the health of it. And we're going to get back to our guest, Kathy Hennell of the Learning Tree Child Care Centers. But before we get back to you, you might know these answers. I have some trivia quickly for Jeff now that he forced my hand with the trivia.
I get help from my rocket scientist friend here and from my Zinger.
What NFL Hall of Famer played football at St. Edward's High School?
Oh, Dave Casper.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, Casper. He had one season and
slap George.
And
he's to me.
Well, no, that's a good question because he had a little bit of time in town, but it's a fabled story. And he's
Where
in the
did he
Elton
attend
Sports.
Gosh,
Where did he go? Where did he go?
Oh, geez, that's a good question.
Dave Casper, folks at home, rocket scientist.
Auburn.
Well,
Kathy.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, good call. You know what he's
Kathy,
famous for?
one
You know
for
what
the
he's
guest.
most famous for rule change, Casper? He fumbled forward once, and that caused him to change the rule.
Sure.
He fumbled, and his team got
it
the
up and ran
fumble
with it.
forward,
Mhm.
and they picked up more yardage. They then became, you can't fumble forward. So
Kidding me.
his miscue, if you will,
Fumbling forward.
yeah, you can't, because you could cheat. You could, whoops, 20 yards up the way. It could be almost like an illegal pass.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, so that's what Dave Casper himself did that.
What was his nickname?
Iron Mike. The friendly ghost. I don't know.
Okay. And can I tell you what he does now?
Yeah, let's hear
He
it.
now works for Northwestern Mutual Financial Network in Vernon Hills,
Wow.
Illinois, and he is a financial
You have done your
consultant.
research. Congratulations
Thank
on that,
you.
Dave Casper, and there are good stories. A lot of folks in Elgin have, when they were playing the football with him, they had those warm stories, and he did so well. That is exciting that he was right here in Elgin.
I know. I'm impressed.
He was born in Minnesota.
Was he?
Minnesota, he talks like that.
Oh, yeah. They talk like that in...
Minnesota and Sweden, it's all the
No,
same.
they talk like that in Fargo.
Fargo and Minnesota.
Have you ever been to
movie.
Fargo?
Yeah, Fargo, yeah. Arby's, yeah. Sorry.
Back to Kathy Hennell here.
Thank you, Laura.
How does proper nutrition help children to do their best in school?
Well, everything that you're putting in your mouth has to, what does it do for your brain? And the nutritional factor is so important. That's one of the things that we have worked real hard on in our centers to make sure that the children are getting their protein, the correct carbs, their fruits, their vegetables, and things of that nature. Because some of the kids, when they come in for the day, they may have had, I'm not quite sure what they've had for breakfast, but we know we're going to give them a balanced nutritional meal. And then again, this is all brain power that helps them to do a better job, because they have to have this thing. The nutritional aspect is important, as well as good sleep. And I emphasize that because a lot of times when parents will come in and we're talking about behavioral problems, I'll say to them, number one, what kind of nutrition do they have? And number two, what is their sleeping pattern? Sometimes that solves behavioral problems right there.
No kidding. Let's take a break here. Lisa's on the phone, I think.
Yep, 847-931-1410. As always, it is a phone-in show. Let's say good afternoon to Lisa.
We're fine. Look who's here. We're fine. How are you? Oh, how wonderful.
to enjoy at least a week of it. So hats off to the Hennells and all the staff there and the great job they do.
How wonderful of you to call
Thank
in
you.
for today when Kathy's on the air, and thank you very much.
You bet.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. So, okay, back to this nutrition thing. I have a gripe about some of the media, and especially, I can't remember what cereal company it is, but every time I see the commercial, keep them full, keep them focused, and I think about myself as a chronically obese kid, and person and how I overproduce insulin. And I think that if you give these obese kids all this white starch and sugar in the morning to keep them full, keep them focused, by 11 o'clock, we're anesthetized. We're half asleep. Whereas a thinner kid who processes and metabolizes these foods differently, it's okay for them. And so I just get nuts when I hear this. Keep them full, keep them focused, because it's not for everyone. It's not for every kid. And then you said something about the importance of a good night's sleep, and I know a lot of kids who stay up all hours texting, emailing, doing all kinds of stuff, where we used to read under the covers with a flashlight. Did you do that?
We listened to long-distance radio stations.
On our transistor
That's right.
radios, did we not?
That's
Was
right. Yeah, it was fun.
Didn't we? What else did we have?
KOA Denver was always.
KOA Denver. Only at night.
Yeah.
But you know what? We were no different in that regard, but we didn't have all the food additives and the pollutants to deal with like the kids today do, which you, I know, have a strong opinion about.
Yes, the additives and the things in food today, it's really important to look at what you are putting in the mouth. And, you know, they're talking about organic food, and they're talking about, you know, what's best in terms of the proper food. And you're right, you know, getting all the whites out of the diet and getting the greens into their diet, so that in the morning they're having their fruits and they're having things that are nutritionally based. Again, going back for their lunches, making sure that they have the fresh vegetables and fruits and you know, meat. And I think one of the neat things about being in childcare is that when the children are there, a lot of them will not try things at home for their parents, but peer pressure can be pretty awesome, because they'll see their friends eating maybe carrots or vegetables that they don't want to try at home for mom or dad, but they'll do it. And here's one way that the children will start picking up on eating new and different things, because we are serving that, and we don't have 10 different varieties, or we don't say, well, if you don't want it, then, you know, you don't have to eat it. You know, we give them, try a tablespoon and see if you like it. Surprisingly, how many times that good nutrition goes right into them when they are lovers of certain foods that they never would try at home.
Mom, make me rutabaga.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Listen, I would like to change gears here a little bit and mention that Kathy is a former Miss Elgin. Are you not?
Yay. Yes.
And you also competed in the Miss Illinois pageant. We won't say what year, but you were second runner-up, which is amazing.
This is a place where they know everything about everything when you come in to
Listen,
visit
I
here.
have
What
my
a joyous
sources.
group. What a joyous group. That's so fun to be here today.
And I know that your daughter Kim was a contestant in the Miss Teen Illinois pageant,
Yes, she was.
and I hear she is extremely beautiful.
Takes
it's-
right after her mother.
I
Oh,
can-
I'm sorry to say that. No, I think it was her father.
No, that's what my spy told me. That's what my spy told me. And also that you and your husband Pat were high school sweethearts.
We've been married for 42 years, sweethearts for 7, and he's still my boyfriend. Everybody always knows. They say, "Is that your husband?" I go, "No, that's my boyfriend."
And he is a hunk too, let me tell you.
And Laura,
you.
they
Is it-
danced at pads a couple of years ago. They danced.
You
know,
mean
they
as
took
in
the lesson.
ballroom dancing?
Yeah.
How
As in the
fabulous.
Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. We, you know, he had his military outfit on, and I was trying to be a Marilyn Monroe, whatever. So,
That's
you know,
great.
and we did our thing. It was lots of fun to be able to raise money for the pads.
That's wonderful. And what do you attribute the longevity of your relationship to?
Well, it's respect. It's really tuning into what things make him happy, and he does vice versa. We just try to be there for each other, and we have so many things in common, and that's real important. We have our faith in God. You know, we go to church together each Sunday. We have our love of children. He was a teacher, passionate. I'm a teacher, passionate.
Yeah.
Working with kids has always been our life, and of course, I can't say enough about our children. They're near the area. They're wonderful children. We've been very blessed. So you have that children that bonds you, and we love to dance. We love to golf. Yeah, you name it.
God bless. Listen, I have a few questions, more questions that I call tasty topics. But one of the things I would like to ask you is, what do you do to stay in such good shape?
Well, I'm
'cause
a
you're in
life-
fabulous shape.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. You know, all of my life, having a father in physical education, you know, you hear about those things, but you have to live that. And I've, you know, from early on in our relationship, Pat and I would go to the Y in the morning, get up at 6 in the morning. As soon as the kids were old enough, we would walk there, do the 6 to 7, get ourselves into at least an hour of cardiovascular.
Good for you.
4 to 5 days a week. And, you know, that still remains our, the way we do things today. Pat is right alongside of me, and if he looks hunky, it's because he is.
He does.
He's very, he's an avid guy, you know, whether we do a workout at home or we go over to Del Webb and do our workout there.
You
that's
guys
a
live over there?
togetherness thing. Yes, we do.
No kidding, I have a lot of EBLs from over there. Valerie Swan, Sandy Krug, Joyce Delgadis, a couple others that are new that I don't know their names yet. That's great advice. I want to ask you the person you'd most love to meet, living or dead.
Person I would most like to meet. Oprah Winfrey.
No kidding.
Yes.
You see her all the time, don't you, Diva?
I do.
All
At
right.
the club.
Next question.
Who is your ideal dinner partner? What person would you most like to sit next to for dinner?
Oh, it must be Laura Dion-Jones.
Oh my goodness, does she know how to get the brownie points on that one? We did have fun. I hope I didn't tuck your arm off. I talked
No,
to her
it's-
so much Saturday night, she barely got to touch her dinner. Her husband's poking her on the other side. The waiter came by 5 times to pick up, take her plate. She's like, no, I'm not done eating yet. And but we really talked up a storm. Listen, I want to
As
talk about...
opposed to this show. All right.
Exactly. Where I am quiet and subdued. I have a lot more that I could ask you, but I want to get in about the honor flight. But before I switch over to the honor flight info, do we want to quickly talk a couple minutes about this? And do you want to talk about your benefit that's coming up?
Yes, in the paper the other day, there was a thing on Obama and education, and what can we do to make the United States competitive with our students? And he says, well, the students that are really at top of the in education that are doing the best go to school 196 days as opposed to the United States, it's 180. And so, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking, well, you can have them go longer, but they have to have that whole package put in there. And when I was thinking about it, how do you make your students that much better in the field of education? And I think you have to start from the basics. And I'm going back to Laura's favorite subject is good nutrition,
Yeah.
good sleep, good exercising, that sense of self-worth. And they will motivate themselves to do that much more, but they've got to have the brain power and that energy that goes along
All
with
the
it. So
externals to help them.
you can have them go 10 extra days. It's not going to make them
Do you
bright unless
think-
they have that
Do
going
you,
for them.
do you agree with some of the statements in that article? This was in the Daily Herald on Tuesday, September 28th. It was right on the front page. Do you agree with the philosophy that the reason a lot of the Europeans are so far ahead of us, especially in science and math, is because they go that extra month to school? I mean, you said something earlier about in the green room about having nothing. I can't remember if you're going to really make something. It reminded me of that basketball coach. Who's that basketball coach? He's a winning basketball
John
coach.
Wooden?
No, where they he's still
Oh, now he is one of my favorite people.
ours too, because we
yeah.
use a lot of quotes from him.
Yes.
But the one who the basketball team is championship and they practice in the cafeteria. Come on, he's in New Jersey. I can't think of the guy's name.
You know, Mike, New Jersey basketball.
You can give them all the equipment you want, but if those kids don't want to
Oh, it's-
learn,
yeah,
they're not
it's-
going to learn.
That's
You can
right.
give
It's a
them
high school coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did see that story.
You
yeah.
can give them the state-of-the-art gym, brand new basketballs, the state-of-the-art shoes, this, that, the other thing. And here's this guy in New Jersey.
And he's winning championships,
And he's
yeah.
winning championships, and they only have the cafeteria to practice. When the basketball team comes, they have to move all the tables, etc. And so something, that triggered that off in my mind when you spoke about that earlier.